He hasn't played a lot of games, but I look at other guys who are eligible who haven't made it. Amari Stoudemire, LaMarcus Aldridge, Mark Price. He's better than those guys, like by a really big margin. So,
well, the way we can get to the bottom of this, Pen, is the guys that are eligible to be inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. What league MVP is not in the Hall of Fame?
Derrick Rose.
He's
He's not eligible yet. Yeah, he's not eligible yet.
He won't make it.
When is he
100%?
You think he will?
Yes.
Well, Derrick Rose only retired a year ago, so he's got
Yeah.
how long do you have to wait now? 3 years because they reduced it from 5. They reduced it now after
they
Kobe
reduce it?
passed, and I think they reduced it. I think because Melo just got in and he retired like 3 years ago.
Melo retired in 2020, I think. I think that was his last season.
Melo was playing on the Lakers in 2022. He played with Russ.
He was what? That's right. 2021. I remember that. Yes, he was on that crew. That's correct.
Yeah. So he's been retired about 3 years, and he's making it now. So I think it's 3 years now. So Derrick Rose got to wait about 2 more years to see if he's a first ballot, which he probably won't be. But he's likely to be the only Hall of Fame.
It's 4 seasons.
Okay,
it's 4 seasons now. Okay, so 4 seasons instead of 5. All right. Well, I mean, when you're talking about what Joel Embiid has done over the course of his career, him being eligible and being the league MVP and arguably being the best player and being an All-Pro, as many times he was an All-League defender.
Mm-hmm.
And I know how I know how you guys feel about, you know, the Basketball Hall of Fame and anybody can get in. I think over the 5,000 players that have played, I think less than 5% are in the Hall of Fame. So it's not as easy as you think it is to get into the Hall of Fame. I think it's 170. I want to say 177 guys total are in the Hall of Fame over the 5,000. So I think it's less than 5%. And if you look at the course of his career, who are we comparing Joel Embiid to, Ron, in terms of all-time greats? He wasn't Shaq good. He wasn't Moses good, right? So
debatable. Very debatable.
No, it's not. Was he Elvin Hayes good?
I mean,
we don't need to have the conversation. It's fine. He's better than Elvin Hayes. He's absolutely a better player than Elvin Hayes was. Absolutely.
So did he produce more than Elvin Hayes is the question. That
is what the Hall of Fame is about. It's not about how good you was. It's about how much did you produce.
There's 400 people in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Well, Elvin Hayes is in the bottom of the Hall of Fame. He doesn't need to outproduce.
That played in the NBA, by the way, Swiper.
Yeah, well, there's I was just going to go through the numbers. More than 150 players from the NBA, but 400 total inductees. Because I think it includes women and coaches and all that stuff in the Basketball Hall of Fame. So 400 total inductees. So I mean, it is small. It is very small. But I think there's so many international players. I think that's why they had to expand it, just because there's so many players that have done so many amazing things across the world. But for me, this is a very short answer. I'm going to say 2 things here. First off, Joel Embiid was screwed by the 76ers. And so, this is where I come to Joel Embiid's defense a little bit. When he was hurt, in both of the iterations he was hurt, Penn, and I'm pretty sure you can probably remember this verbatim, they were encouraging him, the same thing they did with Jaylen Brown with the Celtics, when he had a meniscus tear, to get the meniscus shaved instead of fully repaired, because he wanted to be back as soon as possible, and the team wanted him back as soon as possible to be able to play. But the problem is that when you're 7 feet plus tall, that big, that good of an athlete, and you don't get a full reconstruction to your knee, which is what I had, then the issue is you then compound the issue by then developing over the course of time arthritis. And then now in this situation, I think because he's so big, he's a full 11 inches taller than I am and bigger than I am, and he plays professional basketball, and that is something that you have to manage. And I think for him to be in a situation where the 76ers are such a disgusting franchise, meaning they're so poorly run, their ownership is so bad, the team is so bad, they were doing anything they could to try to put him on the floor. And I think in this instance right here, it is just as much as Embiid's body breaking down as this situation we're in right now that the 76ers, I don't think, did right according to Embiid or what was Belford's long-term health. That's why I think this is the issue has become what it is, Chill. Because a lot of back and forth. They knew he was hurt in 23-24 March. We went over this when he played versus the San Antonio Spurs. And then remember, he went to Denver, didn't play in that game, came back 2 games later, played again because, again, the 76ers and Embiid, they were rushing the process trying to get him back on the floor. And I think that actually exacerbated another issue with Embiid. If you ask me straight up,
does he bear no responsibility at all, Swipe?
No, I do. I think that's where it comes to. Mars was talking about this in NBA Finals, but Halliburton, Aaron Gordon. This is where I take Mars aside in this. If a player is injured to the point where if they keep playing, it could be detrimental to their long-term health. I do think that is when the organization has to step in, because they do it for head injuries, Penn. Like if you have a head injury, like a concussion or something like that,
sure. They do it for blood clots too.
Blood clots too, but for whatever the reason, Penn, when it's a lower body injury or something like that,
I can tell you the reason. The reason is very clear. You don't want to see somebody die on the court.
Exactly, but they're much less reticent to protect that player. But I think, like this question for me he is undoubtedly one of the 40 best players I've ever watched in my life, and probably higher. He might be one of the 30 best players I've ever seen play basketball. The dude was the best center in the NBA by the time he got to 17-18, I would argue. I think that by 18-19 became debatable with him and Jokic. But when Jokic started elevating, so did Embiid. 2020-21, Embiid was incredible. 2021-22, Embiid was incredible. 2022-23, Embiid was incredible. Won an MVP. 23-24 was incredible and played 19 games, I think, last year. Was still very good. Wasn't Embiid level, but still very good. I don't think, Chill, for me, you can come and play in Kansas as little as he did because of injuries, take 2.5 years off. First thing he does when he steps on the floor, he looks like legitimately he's going to be the best big in basketball. His first game. For me, this is like a shoe-in. Like a shoe-in. He is a Hall of Fame player. I know the longevity and stuff isn't there. He will play again at some point in time. But for me, like his peak and his run was so long. Like those years he put together, Chill, were so good. I just don't think how you can actually keep him out given what we saw from him.
I could definitely get with that logic. So from 21 to, I'm going to say 24, not 24, I'll say 23. Can you make an argument Joel Embiid was the best player in the game?
No.
You can make the argument.
I think you could
lose. It's a losing argument.
Yeah, you could make an argument.
Like, is it now when you say losing, Mars, because I understand that I think that the winning matters, and I'm not going to argue that the winning matters, but is it a ridiculous fail? Or because when I look at Joel Embiid for what he was doing those 3 years, where 2 of those 3 years he led the league in scoring, and not only did he lead the league in scoring, he was awesome on the defensive end as well. One of the better defensive bigs in the game, had the best, with the exception of Lajuan, he had the best mid-range game that I had seen. Could stretch the defense with the best of them, was dominant around the rim, could rebound a little bit more, but I think that goes without saying. I'm comfortable with the 11 rebounds. I thought that he could have been a better rebounder, but I'm comfortable with the 11 rebounds. No problem with that. The fact that he got injured, I think that's what slowed it down. But ultimately, when I look at these guys player for player, him, Joker, Giannis, James, during that time, I think Joel Embiid has a legit argument for being the best player in the league during that time.
Well, I think that's why he says it's a losing argument, though, because, I think you can, like I said, I don't think it's time to do it. There are things about Embiid's game that you can pick apart. And I think this is why I've always favored, I think, Jokic in this matchup. And I think Giannis, obviously, I think he was better than Giannis in regular season sample size over those years. I know we've had arguments about that before. I think in the regular season, he was just a better basketball player, like for a couple little seasons. But I do think there's a legitimate argument to be made that if you really, 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 truly value rim protection and floor raising and like that face-up scoring thing, and that's your thing. Like a lot of the SGA people, I think if you're an SGA fan,
me, by the way, I do care about that.
Yeah, then I think you can make a legitimate argument that he's, go ahead.
You think he was floor raising?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
I don't think Joel was ever in the early years. Maybe after they got Jimmy Butler and Ben
he
Simmons
was in the
got to
regular
level
season. They were like a +10 with him all those seasons, and he was by far the best reason why.
I think he was ceiling raising though. Joel's always had a good team ever since they got Jimmy Butler. From that year on,
but they were not the same team with him off the floor, though. I think that's where the floor raising stuff come in. They're not the same team with him off the floor.
Well, no. So with every good team in the league, for the most part, you can say that they're a good team because they're star player. Like the Oklahoma City are good because Shea's there.
But I think Shea's more of a ceiling raider than Embiid is, though. Like I think he's a very good player. But again, I think that, and you tell me if I'm tripping, Ron, because you obviously play basketball. I think some of this is when you're a big, Ron, and you're that good defensively, like when he's healthy, and you're able to anchor a defense to that degree. And then on the other end, you're like an extremely valuable scorer in middle of the floor. Like, again, very similar to Shea. I think just even better at it, like in the middle of the floor. Like
the most valuable scorer in the league.
Right. Could be. I mean, legit, could be. And then
you're scoring,
you're a top 10 defender in the sport, and you're nobody shooting at the rim around you. You know, I think that by itself, I think is where the floor raising stuff comes from to Embiid. Like there just weren't people like him in the sport.
And I also think that we're understating, you know, picking Joel Embiid's game apart. Like we could pick Joker's game apart. We could pick I can pick Giannis's game apart. A guy who, when we get into the meat and potatoes of the game, Giannis does not want the ball because Giannis doesn't want to go to the strike. I mean, that's a deficiency in Giannis's game. Giannis, as good as he was in the mid-range this season that just passed, Giannis has never been as good as Joel Embiid in the mid-range, ever throughout the course of his career. Ever been as good a face-up player as Joel Embiid. Now, Joel Embiid and Giannis haven't been, I don't think that they've been on, I think they've been on par as in terms of rebounders. I think Joel Embiid has been a better rim protector than, I think a rim detector and rim deterrence than Giannis. So when we're talking about picking guys' games apart, I can pick Joker's game apart. I can pick Giannis's game apart. I can pick a bunch of different guys' games apart in addition to picking Joker's game apart, in addition to picking Joel Embiid's game apart. I think the biggest issue with Joel Embiid, more than anything, was the amount of time that he was on the floor. And that's the biggest problem, because I think that if we have gotten 7 years of Joel Embiid, 7 seasons of Joel Embiid, where I'm averaging 65 to 70 games, I think we're having a different conversation about him, a much different conversation. Because one, I think we're going deeper into the playoffs because he's healthier at this time, and I think that he does more. Now, don't get me wrong, he's had stinkers in the playoffs. We saw that game 7 when they played against the Celtics in Boston. He was awful in that game. Sure, I can say the same thing about Giannis. Giannis has had stinkers in the playoffs. I can say the same thing about Joker.
But Embiid doesn't have the same ability to process the floor, and I think the decision making from Embiid is also bad. Like, I think some of that is like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even think this is the time to pick it apart per se. I was just more so saying, I think the differentiator between like playoffs, Embiid, Giannis, Jokic, are like, there's some clear flaws, I think, in Embiid's game that are like more detrimental to his team than some of these other players. Now, some of that is, to Marge's point, who's talked about this before, is health with Embiid. But I also think in his brain, Marge, like, remember the Nets series when he was healthy going into it, and then, like, you know, he just was bad. And then he got hurt like in game 3 or whatever that was. And that's kind of when things kind of went downhill. The Boston series, remember, Chill, he had 3 straight 30-point games and 10 rebound games.
He was destroying them.
Stunk, though, down the stretch of that series. Was horrible. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't want to like do all that, but I just think for me, Chill, definitively, if you ask me, we're doing our centers list this week. You know, for what's that platform called again?
Which one?
The Hoop Talk podcast.
Chill. You just ask me straight up. I don't think there are 7 centers that are just outright better than what I've seen from Embiid over the course of what he did at his peak.
Are you talking about skilled, more talented?
Well, no, just good
about
players that have played better. Players that have played better. I don't think there are 7 centers that have played better than what Embiid did.
Who would you say are the 7 centers that are better?
This is not my list. This is the peak list, by the way, Mar. So, you know, this
is I know. I figured peaks. Yeah, I figured.
Obviously, Kareem, Shaq, Wilt. I'm gonna say what give me a second. I'll talk about Bill Russell in a minute.
Oh, is this in order? Is this in order?
Yeah. I mean, what? Kareem, Shaq.
Well, that's what you said.
No, I'm not doing Bill right now. But I'm gonna explain why I'm not doing Bill though.
No, that's fine. I was just asking if that's the order. Kareem, Shaq,
Bill's not on the list. I think Hakeem, Yoke. That's 5.
Yep.
David Robinson.
Okay.
I made the argument I think Embiid is his apex better than David Robinson already, and we had a whole debate about this.
I disagree.
I think Wilt, if you want to include Wilt, obviously, you know,
that's a good debate though. I do like that one.
I'd have the conversation.
Wilt. I mean, but to be fair, like David also has some stinkers in offs too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can do both of those with both of the players. But I think he was healthier and just able to do more over the course of his career. Patrick Ewing is not a conversation for me, and that's no disrespect. I just think Embiid was better.
Moses is the name.
Moses is not a conversation for me either. Like at their apex. I mean, but I'm not. But Chill. Like, I'm this. Go ahead, Ox. Go ahead. Could you sound like you want to say something? I don't want to.
No. I'm not.
This is Chill. I'm asking you to tell me. I'm being legitimate with you. Like, I'm not trying to. This is no agenda. Moses. I'm not even trying to bring a Moses for real, Chill. But just hear me, Chill. The dude was from 2021 to 2024.
Yep.
The dude was a 28 to 34 points per game player. Even if you make it relative to era, 31 on +6 or really +4.5 or something like that over that stretch. The dude, 89% at the free throw line.
Yep.
He was shooting 49% from mid range.
I think he led the league in free throws like 3 straight years.
Yeah,
Like
everybody called him a merchant, right? And then he shot 36% from three to be safe for over those years, maybe 35.
Sure.
The dude was if he got in that SGA block again, could everybody walk on SGA? If he got in that 15 to 10 foot range and he faced you up, Embiid would give you he would do a fade or he would get to the rim and he would roll over both shoulders, make both of those joints, or he would get you in the post, he would bait you up in the air, and then he would get fouled, finish, or just be able to get up there and dunk. And then on the other end, he's not much of a transition player because he's just, Embiid's he can't do that anymore.
Moses was, by the way.
1994
that's
Robinson is better.
That's more of his knees, is what
Way
I'm saying,
better.
Joe. Like, if you do 18, 19, I think Embiid is more much more mobile player.
I do want to say, shame on you, Ron.
Shame on me for what?
Shame on you, brother.
Shame on me for what?
Well, because when I discovered today what we were going to be doing today, I just instantly was like, Ron, this is wrong for you to try to line Joel Embiid up like this. There's nobody, there's 6 of us up here, and none of us are really serious that Joel is a Hall of Famer right now. Like a Hall of Fame career. Like,
we don't know that. Hold on.
Okay.
I mean, who all thinks Joel Embiid's a Hall of Famer today?
He is a Hall of Famer.
All right, but my thing is like, you're gonna put him in the Hall of Fame the same way they gave him that MVP.
Sure. What compelled this topic?
It's one of those situations, Ron.
He's not.
What we not going to do? What we're not doing is we're not dispelling this and we're not dismissing this because this is definitely something that needs to be talked about. Number one. That's number one. Number two, he did not and number two, that was not a pity MVP. Let's stop talking about Joel Embiid like that year he won the league MVP. He won 30 and 10. What are y'all doing?
That's not what Ox is talking about though.
Who did he beat?
Yeah, that's not what he's
beat,
talking about.
Yeah, maybe he didn't deserve the MVP. That's fine.
Yeah.
What compelled the topic being is Joel Embiid a Hall of Fame? What led to that?
So obviously the reports came out that he has a bad knee, right?
Yes.
Like bad knee.
Yeah.
Wrong trying to
so
line Joel.
that got me to thinking, if Joel Embiid has a bad knee, and let's say he only plays 19 games this year, like he did last year, and let's say that this may be the beginning of the end or the end of the end. As of today, if Joel Embiid doesn't play anymore, if he doesn't get any more accolades, if he doesn't have another full season or playoff run, has Joel Embiid put in enough work so far for us to put him up there with the greats? Is he an all-time great at the center position?
Yes.
So I researched this a little bit once you sent me the topic, and I was starting to think of other players who maybe had careers cut short by injury that maybe are in his sphere, and there just aren't a lot. Like when you think about other players that made the Hall of Fame without significant All-NBA recognition, like 4, 5, 6, it's usually the international guys. Like Arvydas Sabonis, Tony Kukoc, guys like this, but they're making the Basketball Hall of Fame because of what their international career looked like.
You know, Joel has 5 All-NBAs, right?
Yes, I do.
Yep. 5 All-NBAs, 3 all defensive teams, 2 scoring titles, an MVP.
How
Right.
many people can we say have done that?
No,
Not a
one has
lot.
that
Not a
resume.
lot.
The
not a
only
lot.
the only players who have 5 All-NBA teams, 3 all defensive teams, and 2 scoring titles is MJ, Wilt, Kareem, Shaq, and Kobe.
Yep. So
Of that alone, he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame.
Ron.
like a few things can be true, right? Like earlier in the segment, y'all said that Derrick Rose is a surefire MVP. Joel Embiid has had a way better career than Derrick Rose.
Wait, Derrick Rose is a surefire Hall of Famer too?
According to the pushback I got initially when I said Derrick Rose probably won't make it, y'all said he would, right?
Well, Chill asked what MVPs aren't in the Hall of Fame, and you said Derrick Rose, but Chill was asking about guys who are eligible. So that's why you got pushback, because Derrick Rose technically isn't eligible yet.
Right.
Is he going to make it? I don't know.
I'm saying he won't. He won't.
That's a reasonable
because he made one All-NBA team. That's one big reason he's not going to make it. So yeah, I think the personal feelings about Embiid cloud this entire narrative because some people have some very strong divisive opinions about him. They don't like him. They blame him for a lot of stuff. They think he's a playoff dropper. All that stuff. But yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. you cannot write the book of basketball without Joel Embiid. And yeah, to the other point, he did not peak higher than David Robinson.
Yeah, we disagree though.
I'm fine with that statement.
1994 David Robinson.
David Robinson was a monster.
1994
Really good
David
player.
Robinson is like a way better version of Joel Embiid.
I don't know what way better.
Way better. I
You-
disagree, but
you would have to start telling me like point for point where he was way better at. Because
The era
way
was
way better or clear might be a little overstatement, Pin. But I think I agree with you as far as him being better than Joel. My only thing, Pin, is like if you wrote the book of basketball and I didn't see Joel Embiid's name, I don't think I would. You know what I'm saying? Raise an eyebrow. I don't think I would be like, oh, wait, you forgot Joel. You know what I'm saying?
so you were upset, Ox, about this topic. You're the only one that doesn't like Joel Embiid that much.
No. I'm not upset. I'm not upset because of that. I'm upset because I think Ron's trying to line Joel up.
How am I trying to line him up? Like, what does that mean?
For you.
Because
he's lining them up for you.
I was shocked. I guess I had a different response than y'all did. I was like, Ron, for real. Like,
it sounds like everybody's giving Joel his props and his love.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if Joel Embiid's a Hall of Famer or not was a discussion. I thought it was just,
my thing, Ron, is like I didn't know. I felt like this is a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Because Joel's going through they're saying he's not ready, his knee, whatever, it's looking worse than expected, all that. So I'm just like, let the man, rehab and get better. I didn't know that.
This topic is slowing down Joel Embiid's rehabilitation?
No, obviously not. I'm saying,
Joel, are you watching right now? Joel, if you are watching, I hope that everything is going ahead of schedule. I hope that you get on the court as soon as possible. I hope you guys are competitive. It will be me and another one of my fellow panelists that will be rooting you on heavily this year, and Sixers and 6.
Hey, I want Joel to be on the floor just as bad as anybody else. So it's not like that. It's not like I'm saying I don't. I just thought that it was poor taste to do this conversation right now because I didn't know I was the only one that didn't think he was a Hall of Famer.
So we can't talk about Tatum either.
No, bro, you can talk about whatever you want, bro. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like I just didn't know that everybody thought he was a Hall of Famer. See, I was completely off. I was off. You know what I'm saying?
Well, two things, Ox. Number one, two things, Ox. Number one, are we closer to the end than we are?
The process is over. It's been over. So right. Yeah, we are closer to the end. But that makes sense. He's been in the league for a little while. We should be closer to the end. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so and when we say closer to the end because his skill level has diminished or because of health? Because when we in right, and this is why we're having this conversation. Because if we're closer to the end, then of course we're having a conversation about where he is amongst the all-time greats. Because I don't think the way that Joel Embiid is today physically, I'm not sure he's going to be around 2 years from now. I'm not. Just like I said the same thing about Kawhi Leonard. I was wrong. I thought Kawhi Leonard would be out the league because of his knee. Joel Embiid, I'm not sure if he's going to be around in the next couple of years, right? Because of physically, he's not able to do it. I don't know if he's still going to be here. I'm not sure if he's going to be here. But we in a space now with Joel Embiid where the end is coming quicker than we thought. So because the end's coming quicker than we thought, of course we got to talk about this dude. Is he a Hall of Famer when his career is over? Where is he amongst the all-time greats? And this isn't something that's new. Joel Embiid has been coming into camp hurt quite a bit of times lately. It's not like Joel Embiid just started getting hurt. He came into the game broken. He came into the game in 2014 broken. He missed his first 2 years. So because he missed his first 2 years, he was broken almost the entire time he's been in the league, and now it's catching up to him.
Chill.
Right. I feel the same way. I think if Joel would have had more fortune, if he'd been more fortunate as far as health goes, I don't think this would be a conversation at all. So I want to make that very clear that I don't think Joel is a bad basketball player. I think it has everything. What I'm saying has everything to do with his lack of ability to stay healthy. That's all. This is the only thing that's about. And I'm not trying to knock Joel for that. Right. That's all it's about. I don't think any of y'all think that I think he's a bad basketball player. I think we all. I'm just saying it's all because of his. He got hurt at some bad moments. That's all.
Ox and Chill. With that being said, has he put together the best injury-ridden career that we've seen? We've seen a lot of guys that have
Yeah, I don't think better than Kawhi. No, I don't think
career or just level of play.
I would say career, but I mean even level of play.
Or it's
But
probably Kawhi.
after Kawhi,
Nobody else has came into the game as broken as Joel.
Bill
Embiid.
Walton.
Bill Walton was
Walton.
going to be the name I was going to bring up. I mean, define injury-ridden.
you just
Stop
break
and go.
down time after
Stop
time.
and go.
Bill Walton didn't come into the game broken. No, he did
But I
not.
mean, but
He
even
broke
with
down.
that, even with that though, Chill,
Yeah, he
if you
broke
broke
down
it
later
and
on.
just continue to play through injuries,
Sure.
significant
Grant Hill.
injuries, missing
Grant Hill's
seasons,
another
missing
guy.
times, piecing together.
Dwayne
50
Wade
game
is a
seasons.
good name, by the way.
Dwayne Wade is a good name for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Did Dwayne Wade coming to the game as broken as Joel Embiid?
DWY.
I know he
No.
had
No.
Dwayne Wade came in with already having his
a knee
meniscus.
issue.
Yeah, but he
removed
wasn't. But Dwayne was like
in
healthy
college.
though. Yeah, but he wasn't like
He was
Embiid.
missing. He was missing cartilage as a rookie.
Yeah, but he was so young that it didn't matter at that point though. It just as
It
he
clearly
got older,
mattered with Joel Embiid.
It,
Mars.
put,
He's missing
it, boy, it
season.
absolutely put a shelf life on Dwayne Wade's career.
Yeah.
Dwayne Wade came in with bad knees. He was just so great.
Yeah, but remember, if
That
you have
people
a
just seem to ignore that.
Well, we
Like,
can put a shelf life on everybody's career, Mars. I mean, all of these guys have shelf lives.
we don't need to act oblivious to the fact that when you get cartilage removed from your knee in college, that's going to affect your NBA career. Dwayne Wade came in with bad knees. That's not me saying anything crazy. Dwayne Wade came in with bad knees. That's just
just to be clear though, it's degenerative is because of the cartilage. Like so, over time they got bad. When he was young, it didn't matter because at that point the bones weren't like connecting. But then once you get to 2010, 11, by that point, remember that last peak year he had, Mars? He played like 70 games, 65 games. But then that next year when he got with LeBron, that's really when it started like going downhill. And that was what, 8 years in, Penn? Something like that at that point, 9 years in. So he made it like a pretty good amount. And he played in college too at Marquette. Like he had a lot of wear on his body. And then I think Ox and me had the same knee issues. But like, yeah, if you get your meniscus torn, man, like it catches up to you later and then Dwayne Wade was such an explosive player too, Chill. Like it was just bound to become an issue. But unfortunately,
with Dwayne Wade coming in broken, was it and don't get me wrong, Mars, I definitely think that it shortens Dwayne Wade's shelf life. So instead of playing, I think he played 16 years, but instead of those 16 years, instead of us getting 12 of them at a high level, we were able to get 8, maybe 9. We could have gotten Joel Embiid comes into the game more broken than Dwayne Wade. In fact, more broken than anybody that I can remember. And we still got a numerous amount of years where he was elite, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I think that the fact that his career got shortened by the injuries, I don't think that negates that he was still awesome for a long period, of time. And I think that he was still amongst the best players in the game during that time. So if his career ended today, is Joel Embiid a first ballot Hall of Famer? It's going to be, I don't know any 5-time all NBA performers that's not first ballot Hall of Famers except for Dominique Wilkins.
Don't forget about the gold medal.
He's got the
technically it counts.
I mean,
it does.
There's no technically.
Oh, it does. Oh, it 100% does. But
I mean, Mars. There's a technicality there.
There's not. He was on the team. He won a gold medal.
So technically,
he wasn't just on the team. He contributed too. Like he wasn't. He wasn't like.
There's no. Asterisk.
Don't
forget his gold medal. That's it.
Yeah. Period. Yeah. There's no asterisk with this. But the point that I'm making is, I think Dominique Wilkins is the only guy that I can remember that was a 5-time five-time All-Pro that was not a first ballot Hall of Famer. I might be wrong with that. You can fact check me on that. But I mean, the fact that Joel Embiid did everything that he did, I mean, I think it's a little bit trickier that the injuries came in. So now we're talking about him in a different space than we would had he been able to hold up a little bit more.
Yeah, and I mean the first year Joel played, he played 31 games. And then after that, he had looks like a 6-year run where he played 50 plus games. 4 of the years, 60 plus. So he went 63 games, 64 games, 51 games in back-to-back seasons. 68, that's the year he led the league in scoring, averaging 30 with 11 rebounds. The next year, 66 games. This is the year he got the MVP, averaging 33 and 10 rebounds, a couple blocks as well. And then obviously 2 seasons ago, played 39 games. Last season, he played 19 games. I'm saying all this to say, like, throughout this whole time, Joel's injured. Different injuries on and off. I just find it very impressive that he's been able to put this together over this course of time. And mainly because, like, we talk about it all the time. Like Mars would say, if Joel Embiid's 70% or 80% coming into the playoff time, Philly has a fighting chance. Well, over this course of time, Joel Embiid has been relatively 80%, 60%, 90%, 75%. Like, he hasn't been fully healthy. And I understand no NBA player is fully healthy. It's 82-game season, playoffs, practices, all of this stuff. Everybody has nagging injuries, but not everybody has glaring injuries like this. Surgeries.
I mean, he was nothing short of fantastic in that series against the Knicks. That was the last time we seen him. He wasn't great at the long ball line, no doubt about that. But he was, considering him being injured the way he was fantastic in that series against the Knicks. And he was beat up. He could hardly run. He could hardly run during that time.
50 points in the playoff game. I don't care what nobody says. That's an accomplishment. I don't care who it was against or when it was. There's only 3 centers ever to have 50 points in the playoff game.
Who's that? Jokic and Wilt?
Yep.
I forgot about that New York series. He was going crazy in that series.
He got busy, Ron.
Remember when he threw himself a lob off the glass
and then hurt himself immediately after that?
Yes.
And y'all tried to say my man was unethical in that game because of some other things.
No, that was dirty. No, that was dirty. Moments. What he did, that was dirty.
Oh wait, just Mitch Robinson.
Yeah, that was dirty. It's just there's no getting now.
He scored 70, right?
Who? He did it. He scored 70 in the regular season, not in the playoffs.
But hold on, who was that against? Oh, we might have to throw back Thursday.
That was the same. Was that the same? Was that the same week?
Wemby 70, huh?
Was that the same week?
Wemby was on the court. Yeah,
with Lucas.
It was the same week as Lucas.
Wait, and Cat had 62 on that Sunday.
Yeah, and then they lost. They lost. Was it Charlotte?
Charlotte.
And they lost.
It was Charlotte. He was chucking in the fourth.
They were trying to stat pad, and then they ended up losing the game.
You know what's interesting? If
the
the 65-game rule had existed, he would have only qualified for awards in 2 years.
Yeah, 63 in the MVP year. That's also why I think he shouldn't have won that year. But there's multiple reasons behind that. So yeah, 63 games that year.
No, it was 66 in the MVP year.
They played 60. Well, could Jokic play 69 and then he played 66?
Yeah, he played 66.
But he made the cutoff.
Yeah. They made 63, and then he played, and then in 2021 he played 51 of 72, but those 51 games were also like crazy.
He was on hit 65. He wasn't on pace.
In all 3 of those years, he
was on pace for 65, right? Or no?
In all 3 of those years, he had a top 2 MVP finish. So
yeah, he's I don't again, once again, that's not for me. That's not accidental. I don't think you just luck into that. Because he would have did the same thing last year. Honestly, if he was healthy, like I think it would have been the same every year he was healthy. He was finishing 1 or 2. I'm in there.
Penn, you had brought up David Robinson, and I remember I had done some homework on David Robinson some time back. From the 91-92 season to the 95-96 season. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of those 5 seasons, he finished first, second, or third in MVP votes. The year he finished 6th in MVP votes, which was in 93, he had 3 different coaches that year. He finished second in defensive player. They were a nightmare that year. In 93. They were a complete nightmare that year. David Robinson, who for all of us that aren't aware, I mean, Mars and I have had this conversation about Dave Robinson because he was a finesse big. He was considered a finesse big, great mid-range game, but actually could play physical. Was great around the basket, ran like a deer, great finisher, really good handle for a big guy.
There's only 2 players that dominated him ever at that point. One was Hakeem.
One was Shaq.
And one was Sabonis. Arvydas Sabonis. That is the real name.
Wait a minute. It wasn't during that time. I was a kid. It was 1987.
I understand that.
It was 1987. I was in the Olympics. I was a kid.
No, you're making excuses.
I'm not making excuses. I was a kid. I'm not the same player at 19 years old that I am at 24.
That's fine.
I'm not fully developed at 20 years old.
Say it again, Penn.
They were around the same age, Joe.
So Sabonis was destroying
playing
them.
Pro basketball, by the way. Who was playing?
So did Luka when he was 16. It didn't matter. Luka was still frying.
Do we need to go watch another Throwback Thursday game?
We can absolutely watch that Olympic game.
In fact, Joe, they're exactly the same age.
But he was
Exactly.
60 years
Hold
old.
on, wait. So Pin, wait, hold on, Pin. Hush, Chill. You're caught in the box. Pin, re-say what you just said. Re-say what you just said.
They're
They were
both
the
the same.
exact same age.
Who's the same age?
Arvydas Sabonis and David Robinson are
So
the
you're
same
telling
age.
me
was
that?
more-
Wait.
he was
I'm
more
not done.
advanced.
I'm not. So Chill. I still think Sabonis. I still think David Robinson's one of the 10 best centers ever. Don't get me wrong, Chill. 8 maybe. Pin. They were the same age.
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis had him looking like a toddler.
He would have had everyone looking like a toddler.
Chill. He was like 7'3", 7'2", moving,
It's nasty.
shooting.
Mars did this with me
Breaking.
with Kevin. Mars did the same thing with me with Kevin Durant. So I want to use this. I want to use
Oh,
this.
the Larry Bird thing.
Chill.
What I
Chill.
want to do is
How many bigs have you seen break a backboard? You've seen your cousin do it. That's one.
Daryl Dawkins. Yeah.
Daryl Dawkins. That's two.
Zion.
Anyone
Jordan
else?
did it too, Jordan did it, by the way.
Jordan did it. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
That's
I
three.
seen a high school nigga break a backboard just the other week.
He doesn't count. Okay.
I seen Dwight pull the shot clock off the backboard.
He was trying to pull the rim down, actually.
Pretty
But
sure
that's neither
Zion
here
did
nor
this
there.
too.
But
Hey, Moses did it too.
Arvydas
you're going
Sabonis did
somewhere
it.
with this.
Arvydas
Daryl
Sabonis
Dawkins?
did it too.
The
Shattered
the
the
point.
backboard. I'm trying to tell you, this dude was athletic as hell, bro. Don't
Yes.
let that 94, 95, 96, Sabonis that you saw fool you.
We got robbed. We got robbed of that. No doubt.
Holy.
But I think that the point that I'm making, you guys, both you, Swiper, and
They were the
Pen.
same age. It's funny.
Well, okay, and that's great. That's 100% great. So moving forward, yeah, the reason why this is important, Swiper. The reason why this is important is because moving forward, when you have guys who are the same age but different levels of experience.
Hey, Pin,
Completely
David
different
Robinson
le-
lucked out that Sabonis didn't want to come to America. That's what I'm hearing.
The Sabonis couldn't come to America.
The league
Because
lucked
the
out. Wait,
US
why is it David Robinson?
legally could
No,
not. Yeah, I know.
The
he legally couldn't.
USSR, which was, for the people who are born after 1995, who don't really understand the Soviet Union and stuff, it was a conglomerate of Soviet countries, and Lithuania was unfortunately not a very high priority for Moscow.
Sure.
So a guy like Sabonis was discriminated against significantly by the USSR, and they ran him into the ground. You talk about the Sixers screwing up Joel Embiid. What the Soviet Union did to Arvydas Sabonis is tragic. What they did to that dude. And after all of that, Chill, after all of those injuries,
He still was awesome when he came into the NBA.
he was amazing.
Yeah,
He was
still
amazing.
came into the office. So what I want to do, because again, Swiper and Penn, you did bring up the point that they were the same age, and I want to make sure that moving forward that we continue with this logic, even if guys have different levels of experience. Mars, you already told me how you felt about Luka coming into the NBA. Even though the consensus on Luka was he's slow, he's young, he's a kid, he played in a lesser league, that he wasn't really the goods, only to find out that yes, he was the goods. And the reason why he was the goods, because the EuroLeague is a damn good league. And have that kind of experience coming into the NBA, as opposed to playing, I don't know, at Creighton for 3 years, is a little bit different. I'd like to think it's a little bit different. So I want to, moving forward with you guys, when we're talking about guys being the same age, the same level of experience, I'd like to think that matters.
Wait, do my laugh again, Chill?
You win a talent contest with that one for sure.
Yo, Penn
Uncanny.